he was renting it out to my mom's sister at one point. And I don't know if I told you the story. I must have told you the story before, like a long time ago. But they were living there, and my cousin, so two cousins, right? One is he was in the military, he had kind of a rough past, but he was like getting back on track and living like a straighter life, right? He was living there. My other cousin, his younger brother, he's not a bad kid or anything like that, but he's kind of flashy, right? And he's super flashy, especially for that area. So he's the type of guy. He's got he'll wear all 10 of his chains. He's got like a grill. He's got Cadillac with like 32 inch rims. Like, he's a flashy motherfucker, right? So he's down there like fucking around with some chick, and I guess he's high flying, like he's got this money and maybe some drugs or something, and blah blah blah. Anyway, so she rats him out to like some other like guys down there. So one night they fucking break into the house, right? My army cousin notices, so he like hides behind the wall and like he shoots through the wall, blows this guy's arm off.
Oh my
right?
God.
Yeah. And not off, but like it was dangling like by a string.
Oh my God.
So he's like running, blood bleeding out the door, and the other guys he's with, they start running too. So he's shooting at them, and one of them runs to my grandma's house, who's next door, and this is the middle of the night. So like he's banging on the door. My grandma doesn't know what's going on.
Wait, one of the guys who tried to break in is banging on the door?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bro,
like he's like banging on the door.
Scene. You don't need to be banging on somebody else's door. What the fuck are you thinking?
I guess he panicked because they didn't run to the car, so he just like runs across the field to my grandma's house, bangs on the door. She doesn't answer right away, so he runs further off into our land, like into the woods, and like tries to hide. The other guys peel off in the car. The other guy's like on the ground, like basically like dying. I don't think he died, but like after that, my dad was just like, "No, we're not renting anymore." Like he kicks out my aunt, and he doesn't like rent anymore. Anyway, he's like, "I'm not renting anymore while your grandma's here." And my grandma now is 34 years old, right? So he
34. What do you say?
I'm sorry, 94. Like, sorry.
What?
So he's like, I guess was like waiting her out, and she outlived both my parents. But now that we're in control, I'm like, I'm gonna do this, because you can't just like have an asset like that sit empty forever, like getting dilapidated, and like
especially that. Yeah, I mean, it's not just that you're not making money off of it; it's going into disrepair, and then basically you've got a money pit on your situation, and it's like you could easily make it generate money for you. So like, especially if there's college in the area, like, dude, it's a no-brainer to get some like affordable housing over there. And honestly, like, I don't know, your dad, I get that situation sounds crazy, but it's like you were renting to your family, like, I don't know, like that's fucked up. You're like, I don't know, you can always, it's like a weird thing. Like, it's like, I get it. Like if it was a stranger, that like you were like renting to, but it's like, you rented to your like nephew or whatever, and he was, and everyone was like, yeah, he's being flashy, he's probably dealing drugs, and it's like, well, I don't know. That's kind of like, whose fault is that? Who are you? You're gonna blame. You never know who you're gonna rent to. You do background checks and whatever, and you try to make sure the tenants are upstanding. But you got the problematic cousin who's flashy dealing drugs, and then brings all the trouble, it's like, well,
yeah,
use a little bit of that family sort of like, you see them in a shinier light, you want to, the family, it's like, no, he's a good guy. He's mixed up right now.
Yeah. Like, and he is, but yeah, he's just that flash, man. He cracks me out too, man. Cause he's so, he's very country, talks real slow, man. He's got the drawl. It's just fucking, he cracks me up, bro. But I don't know. He just had that moment where he just wasn't necessarily on the right path.
Yeah.
Um,
Sure. I suppose it could happen.
so
Weirder shit has happened in the world, but that's crazy. Your cousin just was like, "All right, I'm gonna start blasting." He's like,
yeah,
"I'm out here. I got the training. I've been waiting for this."
pretty much, man. He's no punk.
I guess
So,
I would say not. Through walls and shit. What the fuck? It's crazy.